fast you were going?
What? How fast you were going?
I don't know. 10?
8.
Be advised, this is an explicit podcast. If you're easily offended, get your panties twisted into a knot. Leave now. Run to your safe space. Get your little cloth for your tears. All the opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and his guest and do not reflect the opinions of any local or government agency. Welcome to MOTORCOP Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Iceman. I'm still stuffy. Not as bad as I've been, so excuse my voice. It's a little off right now. Of course, this is the first of the month. My most unenjoyable episodes I put out. The end of watch episodes. I'm not going to go into all the other stuff we do. Subscribing and stuff. It's not important at this point. So this is for the month of April. I will say that we're it's a whole hell of a lot better than it was quite a few last month. So it was not zero, but when I did click on it and look at it, I was pretty much in shock. So this will be an extremely short episode, which I'm very happy to do a short episode. So there was only five reported officer line of duty deaths in the month of April. I think 2 canines. So let's go over. Let's start and give them their due respects. So started out, like I said, I'm real happy that that was only 5 at least. So it's a great start from last month when it was in the 20s. So we're gonna start out with Sergeant Christopher Michael Vaughn of Cedar Bluff Police Department in Alabama. His end of watch was April the 1st, 2022. His cause of death was a duty-related illness. He was 38 years old, 13 years on the job. His badge number was 202. Said Sergeant Christopher Vaughn suffered a fatal medical condition after assisting in a vehicle pursuit that resulted in a vehicle crash. Shortly after the pursuit, Sergeant Vaughn was still on patrol when he experienced a medical complication while driving at AL9 and AL35 at 8:30 a.m. He was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Sergeant Vaughn had served with the Cedar Bluff Police Department for 6 years and previously served with the Leesburg Police Department for 7 years. He is survived by his wife, 2 sons, parents, and a brother. So unfortunately, it's a medical condition that caused his death. A young man, 38 years old. Wife, kids, and stuff like that. It's not good. Next, we have Deputy Constable Jennifer Chavez of Harris County Constable's Office, Precinct 7 in Texas. End of watch was Saturday, April the 2nd, 2022. Cause of death was vehicular assault. Jennifer was 32 years old. She 1 year and 6 months on the job. She was a military veteran. Deputy Constable Jennifer Chavez was killed when her patrol car was struck by a drunk driver on a Beltway 8 near Fondren Road. Other drivers had called 911 to report that the driver of a Ford F-550, which is a very, very large truck, was possibly drunk and had just fled the scene of another crash. Jennifer positioned her patrol car on the shoulder of the Beltway and waited to intercept the vehicle. The vehicle struck the back of her SUV while she was parked on the shoulder, causing it to burst into flames. Several bystanders detained the driver as he attempted to flee the scene. Deputy Constable Chavez was a United States Army veteran who served 1.5 years with the Harris County Constable's Office, Precinct 7. She was assigned to the Pole Road Division. She survived by her husband, her son, and a nephew. So this lady lost her life because some idiot decided to drive drunk. The next law enforcement professional was a Deputy Sheriff James Jerry Critchlow of Ohio County Sheriff's Office, Kentucky. And his watch was April 20th, 2022. Cause of death was a heart attack. Jerry was 65 years old. This man had 43 years on the job. Deputy Sheriff Jerry died 5 days after suffering a heart attack while directing traffic on Route 231 in front of the Ohio County High School. He drove himself to a local medical facility after experiencing symptoms before being flown to the University of Kentucky Medical Center in Lexington. His condition continued to worsen and he passed away on April 20th. He had served with the Ohio County Sheriff's Office for 13 years and was assigned as a school resource officer. He had previously served with the Kentucky State Police for 30 years. He is survived by his wife, daughters, granddaughters, mother, and sibling. So this man here, when we talk about dedication, did 30 years as a state trooper, retired, went to work at the sheriff's office and was working there for another 13 years, was having a heart attack and drove himself to the hospital. So I'm sure his family's going to miss him a lot. The community ought to miss this man alive to give him 43 years of his life dedicated serving the public. Next we have Police Officer Andrew Barr of Case Police Department, South Carolina. End of watch was Sunday, April 24th, 2022. Cause of death was gunfire. Officer Andrew was 28 years old, been on the job for 6 years. Police Officer Drew Barr was shot and killed as he and other officers responded to a domestic disturbance call at a home on Rosemore Drive at about 2:45 a.m. The officers encountered a man in the front yard who opened fire on them, fatally wounding Officer Barr. The man then barricaded himself inside of the home until committing suicide 7 hours later. Officer Barr had served with the Case Police Department for 6 years and was assigned to the K-9 Division. He also served as a captain with the Monetta Volunteer Fire Department. Officer Barr had previously been shot and wounded in the line of duty after being ambushed following a vehicle pursuit of a stolen car on May 27th of 2017. This man had been shot before, responding to a domestic disturbance. He lost his life. Young man. Don't say if he was married or anything like that. At least the bad guy took himself out, saved the taxpayers some money so he can, well, we all know where he's going. I don't have to say. The last one we have for the month, which is, like I said, 5 people. Still too many, but it's a great number. I mean, so far we have 2 that died from well, I say do really is, it might have been from the crash, so I'll say 3 that died from bad guys, stuff like that. No, let's make it 4, so 1. But 4. Deputy Sheriff Nicholas D. West, Knox County Sheriff's Office in Illinois. End of watch was Friday, April 29th. Cause of death was vehicular assault. Deputy West was 32 years old. He had 4 years on the job. He was struck and killed by a vehicle as he deployed spike strips during a vehicle pursuit of an armed subject. Officers with the Galesburg Police Department had responded to a call involving an armed subject at a local gas station. At about 8 a.m., the man fled in a vehicle, and the Galesburg officers initiated a pursuit. Deputy Weist was deploying spike strips on U.S. Route 150 at North 150th Avenue in Henry County when the vehicle struck him. The subject's vehicle then crashed into a field, and he was taken into custody after a brief foot pursuit. The man was charged with 2 counts of murder, unlawful possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Deputy Nicholas had served with the Knox County Sheriff's Office for 4 years. Don't say if he was married or any children or not. Another young man. Over the last few months and stuff, we've had a lot of law enforcement professionals have gotten killed deploying stop sticks. Wish they'd come out with something that was a little bit safer, because it is dangerous doing that. We did have, unfortunately, there was 2 canines also that lost their lives doing their job in the month of April. We have Canine Major of the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina. And the watch was April 10th, 2022. The cause of Major's death was gunfire. He was a German Shepherd, male, 3 years old. Canine Major was shot and killed while attempting the apprehension of an armed robbery suspects in Granville County, North Carolina. A subject involved in the armed carjacking of a vehicle the previous afternoon was located hiding in the crawl space of a home on Richard Lane in Oxford. Members of the Granville County Sheriff's Office established a perimeter around the home and requested assistance from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office Special Response Team. Canine Major was released into the crawl space to apprehend the subject. The man fired 2 shots at Canine Major with an AK-47 rifle, killing him before exiting the crawl space and surrendering. Canine Major had served with the County Sheriff's Office for 3 years. Hope they charged him with murder. We have Canine Jinx, El Paso County Sheriff's Office, Colorado. And the watch was Monday, April the 11th, 2022. Cause of death was gunfire also. It's an unknown breed, male, 3 years old. Been on the job for 2 years. Canine Jinx was shot and killed when responding to a call of a person brandishing a firearm at the 900 block of, don't know how to pronounce the name, Avenue in Monoteo, I'm not sure, Springs at 11 p.m. When El Paso County Sheriff's Office deputies and the police department there arrived on the scene, shots were exchanged. Jinx was killed on the scene. The suspect was shot and killed. So at least this piece of shit got what he deserved also. He can go rot in hell with the rest of them dirtbag bastards. So, unfortunately, I had names to read. Good part of it is there's only 5 human casualties and 2 canines. Just last month, the month of March was 22, February was 30, January was 42. Let's hope May's better. Let's May's 0 or 1. Let's say go for 0. So that's all we can ask. At least it was lower. So that's gonna be it. And, we'll send them out. Keep their families in your prayers. I mean, most of these people, they all did. Even a man with a heart attack gave up 40-something years. I mean, man was dedicated, but they'll be missed. And like I said, at least we're out here saying their names, right? So y'all come back Wednesday, and we'll have our live show Wednesday. Be safe. Watch your back. Watch your partner's back. All right. Remember the fallen. Till Wednesday.